Hello everyone, today I want to clear that right there. That is a geoscanner. We have multiple around the map, and they should reveal a good chunk once we beat them. Basically what it does is once you activate it, a horde of enemies will come and attack you, and you have to wait until it's done. However, if the bugs swarm you and destroy the geoscanner, or at least stop the process, you have to start all over again. However, now that we unlocked defense turrets, we can just place these about. Once we fill them up with standard ammo, they'll start shooting the buggies as well. I want to set up a system to automatically produce those bullets, as we are going to need a ton. We're going to need them later down the line anyway, so we may as well set up the system now. And shouldn't be too hard, we can do that at our spawn base. We should have just enough overheat level left in order to place it down. We don't need a massive machine for this. So why here, you ask? Well, this is where we are creating basic building materials, which is one of the things we need. Something else we require is some wolfram, so I'm actually going to split that. So all we need to do is take this off. It doesn't really need that much anyway. Two of the fabricators are fast enough, or probably too fast, honestly, because we only have one dispatcher. Alright, let's see, I kind of did this awkwardly, as we are going to need a lot more. So actually, let me destroy this again. So first thing we need is a smelter. Bars are then smelted into powder, and that goes into the mega press, together with the basic building materials. I imagine one is good enough. If not, we can always hook up an extra ore extractor to this. But this seems to be keeping up fine, so that's good. Alright, then what we need is just a dispatcher. And I probably should have set up the receiving end first, because now we have to walk all the way back. Build that, and then walk all the way back here. I've also set up a lot more cargo launchers here since last time. And I hooked up the helium to these. So now Moon Energy Corp is actually getting done pretty quick. I mean, it may as well be done soon. It took like 3 episodes at this point. Alright, let's put that one down. Connect up some storage real quick. And we have to walk all the way back to our spawn location. Let's see, how is it going? It seems to be full. That's good. Won't be for long though. Put the standard ammo and have it go to that base. Right, that should work. Also, while we're here, Spaghetti-O, look at this messy-o. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's functional. I mean, it isn't technically as bad. Everything is still connected up kind of neatly. I'm pretty sure it could be done a bit better had I thought it out a bit more. However, these two contraptions are kind of vital. Oh, Moon Energy Corp done? Hell yeah. But these create electronics, as well as the chemicals. And I have a bunch of storage set up to that, so it can actually pile up a bit. Although it seems like inductors are being created kind of slow. But that is the main bottleneck on electronics currently. However, we should have enough to create the battery now. I'm quickly going to rush the base and unlock that. With the battery, we should be able to get into the terraformation engine in the back there, so I'm pretty excited about that. But we'll probably do that next episode, because that's going to take quite some time, apparently. And I don't have that much time for that today. This is not where I have inductors. I quickly wanted to check what is the actual bottleneck. Alright, what is holding you back, mate? Tubes. Yeah, not much I can do about that right now. We only have one thing creating the titanium tubes, and the applicators are already taking 8 per craft. So I mean, that was already not keeping up. We need to find a huge titanium deposit and get the tubes working like that. We just have to add it to the list of things to do. I mean, technically there is a huge titanium deposit right here. So I think once we have defense turrets or towers, I'm just gonna place one here because there's constantly bugs in that area. So I haven't really built anything there yet. Except for the helium deposit, which is up too high for them, I guess. Alright, with that, let's insert all of these items. And we unlock the power cell. And then let's see, what does it cost exactly? 10 of each? That ain't too bad. We'll make a couple of that later, or probably next episode, realistically. Because I'm not sure how many we're going to need in that terraformation engine. Because there might be, like, multiple doors. Who knows? Well, anyway, we now have a steady income of standard ammo. Let's see how that is going. Seems to be filling up quite nicely. We're going to need quite a bit of this. So this is actually pretty good that we already have that much. And also, seeing as we don't require this anymore. I was already thinking ahead. If I connect this receiver up to the system, it has a bunch of applicators. Wouldn't you know it, Griffith Blue requires those. This kind of setup is what I eventually want. Have a receiver connected to a bunch of cargo launchers. And we can just have the items easily shipped to them. And I don't have to switch everything out constantly. I do want to have this on a larger scale, so we're going to have to do it somewhere else. Probably create our main base there. I imagine it isn't going to be super difficult. Especially now with the weaponry we already have. But you know, it never hurts to be fully prepared. And ever since I got my ass beat during the playtest, this is kinda what that has led up to be. Alright, let's connect some up from all around. Now it does require power, which kinda sucks. So let's connect them up like so. There we go, it should now work. It just needs bullets. Alright, each turret can get a full stack of the bullets. We are loaded up as well. I think we can reboot this. And let's go check the map real quick. I don't think it's going to do much here. We already unlocked most of the area around us. But I want to see if it also does some of the unexplored areas. Alright, let's reboot. There we go, we get an earthquake. It is initializing. It's going pretty fast, actually. Oh, here they are. Why are you not shooting, man? What do you mean no power? Why does it not have any power? This one has power, so I don't understand why the other ones don't. Oh, maybe that doesn't count because it goes down? Hold up a sec, I'm gonna have to fix that then. It seems like it is pretty chill anyway, so... Is that good enough? You powered now? No? Good, I'm gonna place down another wind turbine then. There we go, that's powered up now. And these won't have issues still. There we go, everything's working. This was kind of infected, but seems to be okay. Yeah, for the next one, I think we can do a lot better. Oh, damn. It's already done. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it didn't really do a lot, did it? Actually... Music? Okay. It just went terrifying for no reason. It did actually expand the map quite a bit, because I think we were only able to see up to, like, this back part at the Wolfram. Now it does a little farther. Alright, let's start demolishing this. And then the next area we can set up a bit better. How many bullets did that take, though? Honestly, not even that much. The inventory is a bloody mess, though. Let me sort that out real quick. I got way too many of these basic building materials on me. Yeah, we didn't even need to shoot ourselves, so I may have gone a bit overboard. You know, they beat me once, and after that, you always come fully prepared. So talking about that, I imagine that the next one is going to be a bit harder. At least I think they would ramp up in difficulty. That would make sense. And to make it a bit easier, so I don't have to constantly move around from tab to tab, I'm just going to highlight these two. I don't think we're going to need many anyway. Also, we are going to need to have a base core with us at all times. Alright, let's put in the bullets. I think there was a meteor close by. Oh, they already start shooting stuff. Okay, good. Let's activate that. And I'm just gonna harvest that if I can, while the turrets are doing their thing. It sounds very space gun-like. For something that shoots regular bullets. But hey, it seems to be doing pretty good. Alright, how are things going around here? 70%, it's almost done. It seems to have consumed about 120 bullets. This one, 70. Well, it's all going pretty damn well.
It works.
There we go. We have an unidentified cave down here. And another creepy sound. I wonder why that sound keeps playing. Because it happens rather long after we completed this. Maybe after we defeat all the enemies? But it sounds very ominous, that's for damn sure. I want to check out the cave around here. And then I guess we can move to this geoscanner right here. Okay, it's literally just a cave. I don't get why it was unmarked before. Maybe they're planning to add more caves later down the line. And that's why it was unidentified. Because you can have different kind of caves later. Or they're already in the game like that. But there is no thing on the side here that says anything else but underground cave. Alright, for this one we're also going to need a base core. So time to load them up again. And start going. Ooh, that's right on the radiation toxic zone area. Okay, should not stand close to that. Seems like they're all coming from that side, which I guess makes sense if that is radiated. So far it's holding it off pretty well. A bunch of acid spitty boys there, that might not be good. And a lot of acid around. Okay, so I guess we do have to get involved slightly. This guy can launch from super far. Stop that. Alright, there we go. Oh sweet, the turrets also level up combat. Okay, the music just plays even though there's still enemies. So it isn't because we defeated all the enemies. Maybe it's just delayed a fair bit. Alright, let's take it all down. I wonder if this actually gives us the bullets back too. Answer is no. Okay. That is good to keep in mind. That did just waste a ton of them though. Okay, there is a bunch of stuff out in the radiated area. I'd rather not go play around in that though. But there has to be one in the back here, right? This seems to be pretty shadowed. I'm gonna take a look. Never mind. I think I'm gonna go back to base. I don't really want to do all the geoscanners right this second. I think that would become rather boring real quick. But maybe what we could do is we can just take all the supplies, the craft the turrets, the turbine, and the base core with us, as well as a bunch of bullets. And then whenever we find one of these out and about, we just complete it real quick. I think we're just gonna be able to make this, man. Although, nah, we have enough time. More than enough time, even. It's just now counting down. Alright, and while we're back here anyway, Moon Energy Corp had something. Increases the fog of war area uncovered by the player. Not useful. Let's put it away in the chest. I created a new chest system for this, because we were, getting a lot of these. Also, just noticed we got our very first Flinger biofact. That must be the big acid spitty guy. It's worth almost 10 times as much as the regular one. But then again, we do have 33 of these, so ultimately gonna question if that's worth it. Alright, let's explore the area in the back here. See if it has a geoscanner there. This is honestly something we should have probably started a lot sooner. It isn't super tough, by the looks of it. Again, I'm probably just scarred from the first time I interacted with one of those things during the playtest, when I didn't even have a pistol yet. Alright, I don't think there's a geoscanner here, perhaps, unless it's accessed from the other side of the mountain. Although, I guess we can look. I thought I couldn't climb that. This is radiation. Get me out of here, get me out of here. Yeah, this is something we can't easily climb, though. Alright. We'll go the other way. Alright, where would the next one be at? I'm pretty sure that is a geoscanner right there. There must be one in this area still, right? Well, there's something in the back here, by looking on the map. That's a cave. Well, you know what? Don't mind if I do, actually. Can always use the quartz. I'll admit, these caves don't often have a lot. Yeah, this one had 15 again, which isn't a whole lot. Alright, looking at it, I really think the closest one is the one over here. Alright, so here we are, the geoscanner. There's actually one of the few that I did during the playtest. And also, the very first one. Also, the very first one I died at. But it should be a lot easier now. Yeah, look at that, they can barely even spawn. I'm gonna say, that's pretty good. They thought they could hide behind that rock, though. So, what I'm thinking now is, because this one is so much easier, it doesn't seem to have the acid spitty boys, since each one is either uniquely made, or what might also be the case is that it has, like, their own unique things in the specific area. And because this is the spawn area, it is pretty easy. Let's see, how much stuff did we miss around here? Not too much. It seems like it has no use to continue farther that way. That just leads to the radiation. I mean, that's a pretty decent chunk of the map. that we got. It doesn't do everything in the area, which is kind of annoying. I kind of wish it did. But I suppose it is better than nothing. Alright, I think that's enough geo-scanner hunting for today. What I'm thinking of doing now is just place a couple turrets down, or one at the very least, at some of these bases that get attacked sometimes. And then just load all of these up with full bullets. I guess we don't really need that much power here. Okay, a solar panel isn't enough. Good to know. I guess wind turbine it is then. You mainly have to worry about the core from what it looks like. Because even though they can infect your other buildings, it doesn't seem like that is a permanent thing. Unlike the core, which is permanently infected and then shuts down everything. And then I'll place one on the back of our base, as there are some attacks every once in a while here. And I think this is going to be the kit I take with me by default, which seems like a lot, because it is kind of a lot. However, we get an inventory upgrade once this Griffith Blue finally updates, which could take a little while, because the applicators are just so damn slow. However, I'm going to be leaving it up over here. In the next episode, we're going to go to the World Terraformation Engine. I'm pretty excited to see what that is all about. And I'm debating whether or not along the way we should do a couple geoscanners. I might just don't and just try a rush towards the engine because it already takes so long. But we'll see how things go. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye everyone.